Hey friends, today I want to talk about overriding the fight or flight response. When we get into a really stressful situation, our nervous system is just programmed, hardwired to protect us from danger. That's where fight or flight comes from. We either fight, to protect ourselves. We flight, run away from the danger. There's also freeze or fawn. Freeze being like the deer in the headlights and just kind of being paralyzed. Some people feel that when they're overwhelmed. And other people, when they get overwhelmed, they just turn into a people pleaser and just try to make everyone happy to protect themselves from whatever anger or wrath might come against them. What I want to share today is Psalm 54. We're talking in our Sunday service, we've been talking a lot about David in the Psalms. This presents actually a very, very good template for overriding the fight or flight response. And what I want to begin by saying, you can override this response. It doesn't happen just by reading it once and then expecting it to happen the next day. But if you practice some of the things that we see David does in this psalm, it actually does have a profound impact on your automatic responses when you feel a sense of threat that arises. This psalm was written when David was hiding from the people that were trying to kill him. And then some of the people who were loyal to those people, to Saul, said, "Hey, David's here, you gotta come get him." So David was in a really, really clear life or death level danger. And in the midst of it, he writes this psalm, which in and of itself is a powerful image of what we can do when we feel overwhelmed. He says, "God, save me by your name. Vindicate me by your might. Oh God, hear my prayer. Give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers have risen against me. Ruthless men seek my life. They do not set God before themselves." And there's a Selah, a pause. At the start of the psalm, he identifies what the threat, what the danger is. And what I want to share is this, like the fact of identifying the danger, and especially if you're a person of faith, bringing it into a situation of prayer is actually a good first step to walking out of a mindset of living in the fight or flight response. Identifying the danger, bringing it upward in prayer. And then he does this powerful thing. He reminds himself of what's true and right and real. Now, in psychology, we call this grounding, just finding something that kind of connects you to the here and now, the present, to evidence that you're going to be okay. He says this, "Behold, God is my helper. The Lord is the uplifter of my life. He will return the evil to my enemies. In your faithfulness, put an end to them." Now he's doing something that could be defined as grounding, which in itself is powerful enough, reminding himself of a reality. In this case, the reality is God's promise that he's already made to him that basically indicates that David will get through this because of what God has already promised is going to happen later in his life, him becoming king. And he closes by saying this, "With a freewill offering, I will sacrifice to you. I will give thanks to your name, O Lord, for it is good. For he has delivered me from every trouble, and my eye has looked in triumph on my enemies." He does two things. He focuses on what is to come and says, "God will be with me, and I am confident." He declares that. That's powerful. And also he reminds himself of what God has done in the past, which creates a decision-making matrix in his mind that allows him to see, okay, because of that has been true before, therefore I can trust that it's going to be true now. And again, these things, declaring the problem, bringing it upward, grounding yourself, reminding yourself of what God's promises are, and reminding yourself of what his pattern has been in the past. Walking through that process, it's not going to happen right away, but eventually you can get to a point where now that becomes more your automatic thought when you feel threatened than any fight or flight type response it does. So I want to encourage you to practice some of these Psalms. Use this one as a template. Practice these things. Bring your complaint to God. Identify the source of the problem. Remind yourself of his promises. Ground yourself in the reality. And declare that he will act on your behalf. God bless you.